Hello everyone, welcome to the new video lecture of subject Interconnected Power System. Myself Himanshu Joshi, I am an assistant professor in Sri Labhubhai Trivedi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Rajkot. Today I will continue my lecture from chapter number 5, that is the frequency and voltage control methods. So today's topic is dynamic response, means the response which change with time. So in this particular topic we will use the same block diagram that we have used in our topic steady state response. So here you can see that this block and this block, these both blocks are in series. So we can simplify or we can replace these two blocks by means of single block. So the series connection of block and its equivalent will be the multiplication of gain of this both blocks. So that block will look like this. In numerator will be the multiplication of KSG and KT. Denominator is the multiplication of 1 plus S TSG into 1 plus S TT. Now TT is the turbine time constant, TSG is the speed governing time constant, and TPS is the power system time constant. So this is the relationship among all these three time constant. The smallest time is the time constant which is for speed governing mechanism, and second one is the turbine time constant, and the last one, or we can say that the highest time constant value is of power system time constant. The typical value of time constant will be TSG is approximately equal to 0.4 second, TT is the approximately equal to 0.5 second, and TPS is having a highest value with the range of 20 seconds. So ideally we can say that TSG and TT, ideally the value will be equal to 0, and the value of KSG into KT, clear? Here consider the multiplication sign, KSG into KT is equal to 1. So over here let us put the value of TT equal to 0, TSG equal to 0, and KSG into KT equal to 0. So numerator will be equal to 1, over here 1 plus 0 into 1 plus 0, so denominator is also equal to 1. So this entire block is having a value which is equal to 1. So this block will be replaced by a single constant which is having a value equal to 1. So this is the simplified block diagram. Now to find out the dynamic response, we are going to consider there is a change in demand and the speed changer is with fixed setting. So there is no command power for our dynamic response. So we will make delta PC equal to 0 and we will allow a step change in demand. So this input has been cancelled out or equal to 0. So this summing point has been removed and this minus sign will be given to this block minus 1 upon R. So this minus 1 upon R and 1 R comes in series. So they will be replaced with single block which is having a value is equal to minus 1 upon R into 1. So that is equal to minus 1 upon R. So this is our simplification because we have removed this input. So this summing point will be removed and this minus sign will given to the 1 upon R block. So these two blocks are comes in series. So they will be multiply with each other. So the resultant will be minus 1 upon R only. So this is the final simplified block diagram. Now we will represent this block diagram into the form of standard block diagram. That means input, forward path, output and feedback path. So this is our forward path from input to output, and this is our feedback path from output to the input. Consider that over here input is having a negative sign. So this is the simplified block diagram. Input delta PD of S with negative sign, summing point, forward path gain Kps upon 1 plus S into Tps. This is output delta F of S, and this is the feedback value, which is equal to minus 1 upon R. So this is our standard block diagram for our dynamic response. Now we will consider the delta PD of S as the step input, which we have already considered in our previous steady state input topic. So delta PD of S is a step input, so its Laplace transform will be delta PD upon S. We will use this formula, standard closed loop transfer function formula. C of S upon R of S is equal to G of S upon 1 minus plus G of S into H of S. Here C of S, that is the output, so output will be delta F of S. R of S is the input, so we have input is delta PD of S. Our input is negative, so I will put the minus sign over here. So delta F of S is equal to minus delta PD of S multiplied by G of S upon 1 minus plus G into H. Here sign will be, feedback sign is having a positive sign, so we will consider over here negative sign as per the formula. So finally delta F of S when delta PC of S equal to 0, delta PD of S, Laplace of delta PD of S is equal to minus delta PD by S, and we have to put the value of G of S upon 1 minus G of S into H of S. So this is our G of S and this is our H of S. So G of S is equal to Kps upon 1 plus S into Tps divided by 1 minus G into H. So again Kps upon 1 plus S into Tps multiplied by minus 1 upon R. So this minus multiplied by with this minus becomes plus, and we have to multiply R with 1 plus S into Tps. So that is equal to 1 plus Kps upon R into 1 plus S into Tps. Now we will take R into 1 plus S Tps as our LCM. So this term multiply with 1, so it will become R into 1 plus S into Tps plus this Kps value as it is, whole divided by this LCM R into 1 plus S into Tps. So over here this denominator of numerator and this denominator of denominator will get cancel out. So next step is having a only Kps in numerator, and in denominator there will be a R into 1 plus S into Tps plus Kps upon R only, multiply by with delta PD into S and this minus sign. So this is the next step that we have simplified. We have cancelled out the denominator of numerator and denominator of denominator. So this is the remaining term. Now we will put the denominator with individual terms. That means we will put R into 1 plus S Tps upon R plus Kps upon R. So this R will get cancelled out. So remaining term will be 1 plus S into Tps. So S into Tps plus 1 plus Kps upon R. So why I will separate this term? Because I want to separate the term with s and the term without s. Clear? That is why I will put the r into the denominator of individual term. So this is our term with s and this is the term without s. So over here s into TPS, again I will take the r as LCM. So r will be multiplied with 1, so becomes r plus KPS upon r. So this is the term with s and this is the entire term without s. So this is our final step. So now we want to find out the f of t. This is the f of s and our objective is to find out the f of t. So we have to take the inverse Laplace of this term. Clear? We want to find out the dynamic response, which is the response which change with time. So we have to take the inverse Laplace of this particular term. So for that we have to take the Laplace inverse of delta f of s to find out the value of f of t. So to find out the inverse Laplace, we have to slightly modify this step. So the first modification is that the coefficient of s must be equal to 1. So first modification is that the term with s, the coefficient of s must be equal to 1. So I have to take TPS as a common. Clear? To make the coefficient of s is equal to 1, I will take TPS as a common term. So TPS will be taken as common, so it will be shifted like this, KPS upon TPS plus divided by s plus, again I will take the TPS as common, so I have to divide this term with TPS. So it will become r plus KPS divided by r into TPS. So this is our final term for the find out the inverse Laplace. So I can rearrange the sum of the term and it will look like this. This delta PD I will multiply with KPS upon TPS. So numerator become minus delta PD KPS upon TPS. Again this s I will write near about this term. So denominator will be s into s plus r plus KPS upon r into TPS. So now in this term we will try to find out the inverse Laplace. That means we want to find out the delta f of t. So to find out the inverse Laplace, we are going to use the method of partial fraction. We will use the partial fraction method. So this is our final term. This is our final term. So to find out the delta f of t, I will apply the Laplace partial fraction method to find out the inverse Laplace. So I will modify this denominator. That means I will convert this multiplication into the addition to find out the inverse Laplace or to apply the inverse Laplace formula. So I will separately writing the denominator as a upon s plus b upon s plus r plus KPS upon r into TPS. Clear? So we have to find out the constant a and b and then we will apply the inverse Laplace formula. So for that I will use the partial fraction method. So this is our final equation and this is the modified equation of delta f of s to apply the inverse Laplace formula. So again in this equation I will take the LCM of s into s plus r plus KPS upon r into TPS. So I will multiply this denominator with a and this denominator with b. So a into s plus r plus KPS upon r into TPS plus b into s and denominator gets multiplied. So I can cancel out this denominator and this denominator with this one. Clear? So, in this equation both denominator will be cancelled out. So, resultant will be numerator only. So, the next equation will look like this. Over here minus delta PD into Kps upon Tps, and over here this term A into S plus R plus Kps upon R into Tps plus B into S. So, this term will be as it is, minus delta PD Kps upon Tps. I will multiply A with this term. So, A into S and again multiply A with this term. So, A into R plus Kps upon R into Tps, and this B into S will as it is. Now, again I will separate the term with S and term without S. So, over here As plus Bs. So, I will take S common. So, in bracket there will be A into S, A plus B, in bracket there will be A plus B. Now, this is the constant term A into R plus Kps upon R into Tps. Now, we will compare the both equation with coefficient of S. So, we will compare the coefficient of S. So, over here there is a coefficient of S raised to 1. Suppose here there is a no term of S. So, I can simply say that here the term with S raised to 0. Again in left hand side there will be a no term which contain the S. So, I can say that here also the term with S equal to S raised to 0. If there is a no term, then we can make them with power of 0. So, here there is a term of S raised to 1. So, here there is a no term which contain the S raised to 1. So, again I can say that there is a term of S raised to 1 which is having a coefficient of 0. Clear? So, I can compare S raised to 1 with S raised to 1. So, A plus B equal to 0. Clear? Now, compare the second term of S raised to 0. So, I can write A into R plus Kps upon R into Tps is equal to minus delta PD into Kps upon Tps. So, this is the comparison. So, with this we will get the two term, and we have the two unknowns A and B. So, two equation, two unknown. So, we can find the value of A and B. So, here from equation 3 we can directly find out the value of A, and that is equal to minus R into Kps into delta PD upon R plus Kps. So, how this value will come? So, you can see over here that this Tps will be cancelled out with this Tps. So, I want to find out the A. So, I will keep only A in left hand side, remaining term on right hand side. So, this R will be multiplied with this numerator. So, numerator will become minus R into Kps into delta PD, and this numerator, if I will keep A only on left hand side, so this numerator will goes to the denominator. So, over here R plus Kps. So, this is the value of A that we have got from equation number 3. Now, it is time to find out the value of B. So, from equation number 2 I can write that B is equal to minus A. B is equal to minus A because A plus B equal to 0. So, B is equal to minus A. So, simply I have to multiply this equation with minus sign. So, this minus and this minus become plus. So, B is equal to R into Kps into delta PD divided by R plus Kps. So, this is the value of A and this is the value of B. So, now we have to put the value of A and B in equation number 1. Clear? I have to put the value of A and B in this particular equation. So, let us put the value of A and B. So, this is our final equation and this is our value of A and value of B. So, I can write delta f of s when delta Pc of s equal to 0, which is equal to a upon s. Clear? First one is a upon s. So, a equal to minus r into kps into delta pd divided by r plus kps, the whole divided by s, and b is equal to r into kps into delta pd upon r plus kps. So, this is the value of b divided by s plus r plus kps upon r into tps. So, that is the value of delta f of s. This is the value of delta f of s. Now, I can take the inverse Laplace. So, over here Laplace inverse of delta f of s is only delta f of t. Now, we have to find out the inverse Laplace of this term. So, we can use the formula of Laplace inverse a upon s. Let me write in proper way. Suppose we want to find out Laplace inverse of, suppose x upon a, x upon s. Suppose x is any constant, so that Laplace will become only x. Clear? So, over here the same situation, this is the constant, suppose x, and this is the constant, this is the value of s. So, Laplace inverse of x by s is equal to x. Means in general, if I will say that Laplace inverse of any constant upon s is equal to the constant itself. So, over here we have to find out the Laplace inverse of this particular term. So, this is the constant, this is s. So, the answer will be constant. So, I will simply write minus r into kps into delta pd upon r plus kps. Clear? So, this is the value of constant. Now, this is the Laplace inverse of this particular term. Now, we have to find out the Laplace inverse of this particular term. So, over here we will use this formula, Laplace inverse of x upon s plus y. So, its Laplace inverse will be x into e raised to minus yt. Means the constant which is in numerator, it will be multiplied with x into e raised to minus yt. That means s plus term will be multiplied with t, and if there is a plus sign, then there is a minus sign. So, this is the Laplace inverse formula that we will use to find out the inverse Laplace of this term. So, as per this definition, we have to multiply the constant x. So, this is the constant x, r into kps into delta pd r plus kps. So, this is the constant that we will write over here. Multiply with v, multiply with e, minus y into t, that means the constant with negative sign multiply with t. If over here plus sign, then there will be a minus sign. If here is minus sign, then we will put the plus sign. So, this is the value of t multiplied by with this term r plus kps upon r into tps, r plus kps upon r into tps. So, with this we will find out the inverse Laplace. Now, we have to slightly modify the answer. So, over here you can see that minus r into kps into delta pd upon r plus kps, in same way over here r into kps into delta pd upon r plus kps. So, I will take this term as a common, minus r into kps into delta pd upon r plus kps. So, over here I have written minus r into kps into delta pd divided by r plus kps. So, I will take that term as a common. So, over here 1 will be remaining, and I will take the negative sign is also common. So, this plus sign becomes minus sign. This is the entire term which we have taken common. So, remaining term will be e raised to minus t r plus kps upon r into tps. So over here 1 minus e raised to minus t r plus kps r into tps. Clear? Now again I will make the slightly small change. I will, in this particular exponential term, I will keep time variable as in numerator and remaining term I want to write on denominator. So this r plus kps which is in numerator, it will come to the denominator of denominator. Clear? This is in numerator. So I want to t only in numerator. So this r plus kps I will write in denominator of r. So it will look like r upon r plus kps. So this is our final answer of delta f of t that we have derived to find out the dynamic response. So I have written over here the same term, delta f of t is equal to minus of r into kps upon r plus kps 1 minus e raised to minus t upon tps into r upon r plus kps into delta pd. So in easy way I can write with this notification, delta f of t is equal to x in bracket 1 minus e raised to minus yt into delta pd, where x is equal to this term r into kps upon r plus kps. And y is equal to 1 upon tps into r upon r plus kps, that is the value of y. Now this is the response that we will get based on this equation. This is the from this equation we can get the value of delta f of t in this form. So how we will get this graph, that we will have to learn. So let consider the 2 points in this graph. First one is t is equal to 0. First term, let me take the t is equal to 0, and last point let me take t is equal to infinity. So to get the first term we will put t is equal to 0 in this particular equation, either in this equation or in this equation, both will be same. So if we will put t equal to 0, then the e raised to becomes 0. Clear? E raised to becomes 0. So delta f of t will look like this, delta f of t is equal to, suppose x multiply with 1 minus this exponential term becomes 0. So e raised to 0. Now e raised to 0 is equal to 1. So I will write over here 1 into delta pd. So delta f of t in this particular case is equal to 0. Delta f of t will become 0 because 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So 0 into x into delta pd all become 0. So we will get the first point. For t equal to 0, delta f is also 0. So this is the first point that we will get for after putting dt equal to 0. Now next is we have to put t equal to infinite. So again delta f of t for t equal to infinite is equal to x into 1 minus, this will become e raised to minus infinite, into delta pd. Clear? So that will also become 1 x into 1 minus. Now e raised to minus infinite is equal to 0 because e raised to minus infinite means 1 upon e raised to infinite. So, e raised to infinite is equal to infinite. So, 1 upon infinite is equal to 0. So, e raised to minus infinite is equal to 0. So, over here 1 minus 0 into delta P d. So, final answer will be x into delta P d, x into delta P d. That means, for t equal to infinite, you will get some constant value, you will get some constant value. So, suppose over here we will get any constant value, suppose this is our constant value as t tends to infinite, as t tends to infinite. So, I can say that from 0 to infinite, t equal to 0 to infinite, the value of delta f of t, the value of delta f of t is equal to 0 to x into delta P d, x into delta P d. So, we can say that as time will increase, the value of delta f of t is also increase. Clear? As time will increase from 0 to infinite, the value of delta f of t is also increase from 0 to x into delta P d, and that increment will follow the exponential graph, will follow the exponential graph. So, that is why our answer will be in exponential form and in increasing order like this. Clear? We will get the value with exponential form and in increasing manner. Clear? And after some time that value will become stable, that value will become stable. So, this is the point of t equal to 0, and suppose this is the point of t equal to infinite. So, from 0 to infinite, value of delta f of t is increasing, but in exponential form, and after some time it will becomes stable. So, this is the answer of delta f of t and graph of delta f of t. Now, the second, so this is the first order approximation. Clear? This is the graph of first order approximation. Why first order approximation? Because over here we have put the value of t in TSG and TT equal to 0. Clear? So, this S term will be cancelled out. So, we will get the only first order graph. Clear? Now, if we will not put TSG and TT equal to 0, then we will get the exact response, and that exact response will look like this. Exact response will look like this. Again, both graph have the same steady state value, so do not worry about that. Our particular response that we have derived is for first order approximation, because we will put TSG and TT equal to 0. So, we will get the approximation in terms of first order. If we will not put these two equal to 0, then we will get the exact response, and it will look like this oscillating wave, and both first order approximation and exact response both have the same steady state value, which is equal to x, which is equal to x into delta P d. That means minus r into Kps upon r plus Kps into delta P d. Clear? So, this is our dynamic response for load frequency control. So, thank you very much. With this we will conclude our session. If you have any doubt, any question, you can give your doubt and question in comment section. Thank you very much.